I like parables of Jesus. And there is an interesting parable Jesus speaks about. It is called the parable of the empty house. That it is Jesus is telling this parable. In the background, there is a discussion. Discussion is that Jesus is telling every sin shall be forgiven except the sin against the Holy Spirit. And someone is asking Jesus, Master, why that every sin shall be forgiven? Why do you say that every sin shall be forgiven except the sin against the Holy Spirit? This is where Jesus is telling this parable. Jesus is telling when an evil spirit cast out of a man, it will wander, and he will not find any resting place. When you see that this man from whom this evil spirit is cast out, when he speaks against the Holy Spirit, and this evil spirit will come back to him, and he will find it empty, garnished, swept, and he will tell to himself, now this is the best place for us, and I will go and call the other seven evil spirits, and we shall come and inhabit that place. And he will go and take another evil spirits, seven evil spirits, and they will begin to live in that man. The state of that man become more evil. That's what Jesus is telling. Now the question is, why the sin against the Holy Spirit shall not be forgiven? Because in every person there is good and bad. There is sometimes this good take precedence, and sometimes this evil take precedence. That's why they say man's soul is like a continent which is ruled by both devil and angel. Sometimes devil rules us, sometimes an angel rules us. It is not a big issue, but the moment this good evil spirit is gone out, that the man is good itself, but once the moment he speaks against the Holy Spirit, the speck of goodness in him, whatever goodness there has been in him, will be removed. Then he becomes such an empty place. An empty place is always ruled by either God or devil. Either that when someone's soul became empty, either it can be totally ruled by God, or it can be totally ruled by evil. The moment that person is speaking against the devil, against the Holy Spirit, there is nothing good in him. God can never take that man's soul. So it is violated. It is that the forbidden for God to enter there. Suddenly the evil will come with more power, and that person will be totally ruled by evil. This is what Jesus is telling in that parable. Now the question is, what is the sin against the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is the spirit of truth. When you know something is truth, something is just, and you don't take part in it, rather you betray that good. And I know there is something good in some person. So someone said something that good, and he is the right man, but I don't stand with him. Rather, I stand against him. That is a sin against the Holy Spirit. You have taken a position against truth, against justice. That become a sin against the Holy Spirit. We all do this sin against the Holy Spirit, I think. Well, we can think about a recent incident which happened in Kerala. A nun spoke about Onam, and she said that this is the Onam is the gospel of the man who is defeated, who is trampled down by others. And this sister doesn't have any bad intentions at all. She is giving a message, and she is not a theological person. This is something we all learned about Onam. And she is telling in a beautiful language, but suddenly it became an issue, and she was taken to police station, and she had to make a apology, and there were so many people speaking against this nun. Now, one of the things we should know about the situation is that once upon a time, Onam belonged to every people in Kerala. Now it is not the case. Many people are telling it is their festival, it is their celebration, and everybody has to accept the interpretation they give us. And this is a scenario, and that I don't think that the sister is quite aware of that scenario. And actually, Onam belongs to all the Keralites, just like we can say Christmas belongs to every person in the world. It is a global celebration. It is not of the Christians alone. Anybody can celebrate Christmas. In the same way, Onam, everybody can celebrate. I used to fight while I was in a parish, I used to fight with some parishioners who say, we are Christians, we cannot celebrate Onam, we cannot put Attakalam. No, I said, why at all? We are people living with others. Sometimes I have to respect others' beliefs, and they say you shall not eat that what is called the prasadam of the temple. I will say I'll take. I don't have any issue with that at all. for eating prasad or anything. And once I had to attend a program, there was a imam, somebody of the Muslim cleric, and I was also there, and he did not light the lamp. That. But I did it. I don't have any issue at all with it. This is how I respect other people, the people who does not share my beliefs. They may not sharing my religious faith, still I have to respect them. And I have seen so many Hindu people respecting my faith. Why can't I respect their faith? Is a question. This is how we live on this earth. Otherwise, you become a kind of a secluded person, and be reject everything that is foreign to us is a kind of bad thing. And I do accept, respect others people's faith. Now, of course, this sister and sister did not say anything wrong. If you look into any religion, there are moments where man becomes brighter than God. Even you read in the Old Testament, there are incidents where the justice and truthness of God is more brighter than God's. For example, the book of the Job is quite a good reading for that. And on when we say that this Asura and Deva, there is a Sura, Asura. Asura is always a downgraded person. The color issues as they are. And now we depict him as a white person. No, he is not actually white. Someone has really depicted Mahabali is a dark person. And this is an incident where the darkness actually became light. And this is where a man's sense of justice is becoming brighter than everything. This is not against Vamana. This is where he becomes full of light, and he has the right to come back to the back. The man who is trampled down, the man who is abnegated, the man who is denied justice has the right to come back to the earth, and even Vamana accepted that. And this is a beauty where even God accepts his goodness. And to keep the realm of something, someone has to, they have a different ethical understanding. To keep a rida or some balance, someone has to be trampled down, which according to us, which is quite wrong. But this is the justice of a wonderful time. We can give so many interpretations of that. And Mahabali is a man who is full of justice. His time, he was a just man, good man. He was not at all a bad man. And to celebrate that man, everybody has the right. And we can say that when we say that it is the festival of the man who is trampled down, we get another color to it. It is not against Vamana, but it is for Mahabali. That is the issue. And where we say that, suddenly we are against that sister for telling that. And I would say that many Christians even say against that sister. For me, if I am not standing against for that sister, I am standing against the Holy Spirit, truth and justice. And we can interpret the parables are guidelines for us that. And the moment I am not, even I may not be fighting for truth, but I cannot stand against truth. Then when people are standing against truth, they know it is something is truth, still they don't stand for it. It is a sin against the Holy Spirit.